Hey guys, time for another Mark's Comic Haul, y'all. Doing it a little bit different this time, mixing up the background because I am showing off well, I'll just show you. Got all of these at a Labor Day comic sale. Actually, all of those, plus this, which I'm going to show you all of it here in just a second. I want to send a shout out to Titan Comics in Dallas, Texas, one of the long-running comic book stores. They had a Labor Day sale, which they had a sidewalk sale. It was on Monday, September 5th. So thankfully I made it before the end of the month to finally film this video. But I've been going to Titan since I started collecting comics back in the 90s. Jeremy Shore runs that store with his wife Cecilia. And I've known them forever. I've watched them have kids. I've watched their kids grow. Well, I didn't watch them have kids, but I saw them when they had kids. Their kids grew up. Their kids are now working in the store. So I've kind of watched their lives play out as I've been shopping in their store. So anyway, Titan Comics Labor Day comic book sale. Now, I went to this sale, I want to say I've been to it a couple times before. The last time I went was in 2019, which was before COVID hit. And I think that was the last time that they had it. By the way, I've got fans running because my AC is kind of on the fritz, and I live in Texas and it's hot. So if you hear noise in the background, it's probably the fans. Anyway, this was the first time they've had their Labor Day sale in 3 years. And one of the things that they do is a sidewalk sale with quarter comics, as you can see, discount statues, Funko Pop, stuff like that. They also had trade paperbacks, which I believe were $2 each. I got 4 trade paperbacks. I'll show you the trade paperbacks I got. And I was pretty happy with these, actually. I got this. I think I have a nice version of this already, but just to have a nice reader copy of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the George Perez trade paperback, Marv Wolfman, George Perez, $2. It's hard to say no to that. So happy to get that. My buddy Steve Irwin, of course, worked on Deathstroke the Terminator, the ongoing series. And so this collects the first, I think it's 6 issues maybe, of Deathstroke the Terminator. And it's a nice book to have. The Vigilante, Volume 1. This collects the first, does it say? Actually, this collects more than just the first couple issues of Vigilante. This has New Teen Titans Annual 2, and then Vigilante 1 through, I believe it's 1 through 8. I think. Yeah, so I always liked that series. And man, I am so happy to get this. I think I had this at one point, and I guess I must have sold it because I don't have it anymore. This is a really cool series that Dark Horse Comics put out called The American. And it's sort of a commentary on characters like Captain America, and just basically the concept of superheroes in society and how people would react to it and whatnot. This was one of the earliest Dark Horse comics that came out, and they collected it, I think it's 4 issues, they collected it in this trade. And anyway, I was really happy to get this because this is long out of print. I mean, I don't think you can get this anymore. The original 4-issue miniseries is hard to find, especially hard to find in good condition. I think I maybe have 1 or 2 copies lying around somewhere, but yeah, it's very elusive now. So very happy to get those 4. So that was $8, what you just saw there. Now I'm going to go to the quarter comics that I got, and I'm going to start, just because they're all together here, I'm going to start with Extreme Studios. This is Extreme Zero. Now, I've had this book before. If I remember correctly, this was a mail-away comic. I think you had to mail coupons in to get a copy of Extreme Zero, I think. It's been a while since I've looked into it. And then these I grabbed several of because they were a quarter a piece. This is Youngblood number 3, which is the first appearance of Supreme. And they had a bunch of copies. I grabbed a handful because I feel like it's only a matter of time before Supreme becomes a movie or a TV series or something, and so, you know, why not? I don't know if they had Youngblood number 2 at any point. If they did, somebody obviously picked them over and took them all. Interesting thing about the quarter comic sale this year, normally you could show up, walk right up to the quarter boxes. This year there was a line to get to the quarter boxes, and I waited, I am not kidding, an hour and a half in line to get to the quarter boxes. I got there like around noon, so I got up to the quarter boxes at 1:30. People had been there since like 8:30 in the morning, so I'm sure some stuff got picked over. Youngblood number 4. This, you guys know what this is? I've showed this book before on my channel, but I'm going to show it to you guys anyway, just in case you don't know, because a lot of people seem to not know about this. Youngblood number 4 is the first appearance of Pitt. It's a 9-page backup story in Youngblood number 4, and that was the first place that Pitt had its full appearance. So if you're a fan of Pitt, that's a cool book to have, and you can usually get it cheap. And as you can see, I got a bunch of those too. So I got a bunch of 4s, a bunch of 3s, and then that's Extreme Zero. So that will kick off the quarter comics. And then I also got Bloodshot number 1. I always buy these if they're in good shape. Since it's got that black cover, a lot of times you'll see like dings on the side. This one didn't have any. And then also the chromium a lot of times fades over time. So this one actually looks like it just came off the shelf, so I grabbed it. And then I got a copy of Bloodshot number 6 and Bloodshot number 7, the first appearance of Eternal Warrior. Right? Eternal Warrior? Yeah, right? Yeah. I think that's what that is. Anyway, some of these are not in bags and boards because they were in quarter boxes. So, and I really aggressively, like, I dug deep. Like, I'll tell you what, when you go to quarter comic sales, especially sidewalk sales, a lot of times the stores will have boxes on the bottom, like underneath the tables. Nobody goes through those. Nobody ever goes through the boxes on the bottom. So I was like, if I saw boxes on the bottom, I was down on the ground digging through those boxes, because that's where sometimes you can find some really good stuff, because most people haven't picked them over yet. These guys were constantly replenishing boxes. So, you know, there was there was always going to be new stuff coming in. All right. I'm going to have to try to go through these a stack at a time, because it's a lot of stuff. All right, so we got Magic the Gathering number 1. This is the Hidden Planeswalker variant. As you can see, these are the new Magic the Gathering comics. Hidden Planeswalker variant. Grab 2 of those. I haven't been keeping up with the Magic the Gathering comics, so you guys will have to tell me if those are worth anything. I honestly don't know. Undiscovered Country number 1. Image book from Scott Snyder. Miracle Man number 1 from Marvel. They're getting ready to kind of relaunch the whole Miracle Man line. Buck Rogers number 1. Fused number 1 from Image. I think this is a Steve Niles book, and I've had this book before, but boy, I do not know this cover. Yeah, Steve Niles and Paul Lee. This is a cool book. Dark Knight, Legends of the Dark Knight, number 11. First part of Prey. This was the storyline that introduced the Venom that powered Bane. Superman. This is the Radio Shack special, which I believe features a really cool Kurt Swan Superman story. I'm a big Superman nut, so I'll buy stuff like that anytime I see it. Masquerade #1 from Dynamite. This is the Frank Cho cover. I think Mike at Comic Crypto Castle Hills just showed off a few of these. Although I think he had the John Romita covers, which are really nice. This is the Alex Ross cover to #1. Okay. Going a stack at a time. Wildstorm. What does that say? Wildstorm. Oh man, I can't read it. It's in a really weird font. My eyes have been giving me trouble, and I'm having a hard time reading certain things. Boy, I hate to do this, but it's kind of necessary. Rarities. I couldn't read that. Wildstorm Rarities. That's the font that they wrote Rarities in. I don't know. Maybe it's just the light coming in, natural light. All right, Wildstorm Rarities. I picked these up because I really enjoyed these back in the day. Wildstorm did a whole series of these variant covers by Travis Charest, and they all connected to form one giant image. So that's Deviate, that's Wildcats. I got two of that Wildcats for some reason. That's Stormwatch. Wild Core. That's all they had, was those. I think there's like 8 different covers total. But Gen 13 #3 featuring Pit. This was an early Pit appearance. Gen 13 #14. I always like this cover because it's got that white background. Roxy on the cover there. Gen 13 #5, same thing here, white background. Gen Active #6. This features artwork by Will Spertasio. You guys remember Black Flag, the Dan Fraga book? This is Black Flag Preview #1, featuring a cover by Todd McFarlane, or inked by Todd McFarlane. Black Flag #1. Black Flag #2. And sorry guys, I'm getting some bad glare here. Maybe it's not so bad with the stuff that's not in plastic. This is Black Flag #0. Black Flag, another copy of #1. Black Flag #3. I thought I had these in order. Sorry about that. Black Flag #4. This was a hot cover back in the day. Another copy of #3. The Max #1. Always love this book. Savage Dragon #1. Man, have you guys seen the prices on Savage Dragon books? I mean, some of those books are going for crazy money. Like, I had no idea they were that hot. And speaking of, Savage Dragon #27. Will you marry me? Happy to get this. This is the Kitchen Sink reprints, The Spirit #1. I have a bunch of these reprint issues from Kitchen Sink, but I did not have a #1. And I did not have a #2. And I am loving this cover. The Spirit #2. Will Eisner's Law, John Law Detective. Will Eisner's John Law Detective. That's the full title. This is kind of cool. The original Dick Tracy reprints. Dick Tracy versus Prune Face. Howard Chaykin's American Flag Special. Is that the Times Squared story? Dark Horse Presents number 55. I think I showed you guys recently. I just picked up a copy of their 5th anniversary special, which is the first appearance of Sin City. So happy to get my hands on another early Sin City book. This is Stranger Things number 1 from the 4-issue miniseries. Now, I think this is the first Stranger Things comic book. I can't remember. I know they've put out a couple different series, but I think that's the very first one. Dark Horse Presents number... Oh, man. Where is the number? Oh, there it is. Why does this say number 1? That can't be right. Oh, because this is May. I don't know why it says Dark Horse Presents. I guess it was like a variant or something they did. But this is a book by Gene Ha. And this is the variant cover by Frank Cho. I have this book, but was happy to get my hands on another copy of it. The Punisher number 2. This is interesting because this is when Tim Bradstreet was doing covers for The Punisher. So this is actually a variant cover by Steve Dillon. I like that white background. Countdown Special number 2 featuring the Atom. Electric Warrior number 1. Really cool cover. Planetary number 12. If for some reason my phone dies or I get a phone call, I might have to do a part 2 of this. Cat and Mouse number 1 premiere issue. This is a big thick book, as you can see. Booster Gold number 0. Cyberforce number 8. This is the Todd McFarlane illustrated issue. Cyberforce number 32. I just thought this was a really sexy cover by Dave Finch. Divine Right preview. This was a Jim Lee Wildstorm book. Came out back in the day, and I believe this preview, I think you had to get it from... You guys remember there was a company called American Entertainment? It was kind of like a precursor to Dynamic Forces, that type of company. Showcase 93, number 1, featuring Catwoman. It's a great Art Adams cover. The Fox by Dean Haspiel, number 1. I just showed you a second ago the first appearance. This is Supreme number 1. Always a fun book to get my hands on. Strife's Strike File number 1. Icon number 50. I don't remember ever seeing this book before. It's got kind of like a gold ink thing going on, and I actually got 2 copies of that book. Extra sized anniversary action. Yeah. Black Orchid number 1. Cool Vertigo book. Oh man, this was definitely a score. Superman in Action Comics number 700. Now I would have bought this anyway, got the DC logo on it. Now, if you guys don't know about this, there was a limited number of books that came out with this DC logo on them. And now they're starting to become really desirable because they didn't put out... I think they were kind of a limited run, so there's not a ton of them out there. But yeah, I was happy to get that. Superman Man of Steel, number 25. Always grab this book whenever I see it. I know Fred Hall Direct Edition is doing the same. This is the return of the original Superman after the whole reign of the Supermen story. Got 3 of those. And that's the first issue where he is back in full force. Coven, black and white, number 1. Ian Churchill artwork. So yeah, again, if for any reason my phone shuts off or I get a phone call or something, I may have to do a part 2 of this. So hopefully that won't happen. Evangeline, Warrior Nun, Ariella, number 1. Warrior Nun creator Ben Dunn is a good buddy of mine. Comes to a lot of my Dallas Comic Show events. So that was a book I did not have. Here's another one, and I think this is Evangeline, Warrior Nun, but this is a Ben Dunn variant cover. And I had never seen this book before. Virgin variant, and then here's another Virgin variant for Warrior Nun, Evangeline. Didn't have those. Prelude, Deathwatch 2000, Megalith, number 1. Metallic 0 here. Or wait, is this supposed to be a number 0? Hang on a second. There's a price tag on here and I can't see underneath it. But I'll have to look at it later. Is it meant to be a number 0? Alright, this is going to drive me crazy if I don't know. This is good video, isn't it? Yeah, it is a number 0. Yeah, see, what threw me off is this right here. This was meant to be... This is part 1 of the story, but this book is actually a number 0. So I mistakenly called it something else. This is cool. This is a... I'm actually curious if any of you guys know what this is. So that's Jim Steranko artwork. And as you can see, there's no title on this cover. This is Kabuki number 1. Now, I don't think it's the original Kabuki number 1. I think this was like a second series they did through Image, but it's Jim Steranko cover. That's kind of cool. Axel Press Button. This is one of those Eclipse comics from like the 2000 AD stories. I just got it because I love this Brian Boland cover, and I did not have this book before. Generation X, number 48, first full appearance. I'm sorry, number 40, first full appearance and origin of Penance. It's a somewhat hot book. Spirits of Vengeance, number 3, another somewhat hot book. Legion, number 100. This is like a big, thick, deluxe format book, as you can see. Happy to get my hands on these. I always like these books. Valor, number 1. Just a cool DC book that came out back in the day. Low ordered. Got myself 2 copies of number 1. Animal Man, number 40. Brian Boland cover. Animal Man, number 41. Animal Man, number 42. Captain Victory and the Galactic Rangers. This is actually a reprint. I think this is one of those, yeah. This is one of those graphite reprints. Yeah. Megaton Man #1 from Kitchen Sink Press. Origin issue. Megaton Man. Robot Comics #0. I believe this is a Bob Burden joint. Mike at Comic Crypt at Castle Hills will appreciate this. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark #19 from the old Claypool days. Photo cover. Big Bang Comics #0 featuring an Alex Ross cover. The Exiles #100, final issue. Morning Glories #50. My buddy Joe Eisma did that book. This was a book that when I found it in the boxes, I was like, I feel like I won. Like, I feel like I won the quarter box digging. You guys are going to look at this, you're going to be like, why? This is Malibu Comics Ultraverse Breakthrough #2. Notice anything about it? Signed by George Perez. Now I know, if you're going to own a George Perez comic, that's not the one to get. But still, it's cool. You know, it's a signed George Perez comic book for a quarter. Really happy to get this. $6 Million Man #1 from Charlton Comics. Man, Lee Majors was just in town, too. I could have gotten that signed. Oh, well. E-Man #9 from Modern Comics. Look at that old E-Man. I don't think I realized E-Man went back that far. Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom. This is a Whitman #29, I guess. And it features a backup feature of Magnus Robot Fighter. That's cool. Guardians of the Galaxy Annual 1 featuring a Frank Cho cover there. Actually, Cho did the interiors as well. All Winners Comics #1. This is when Marvel was doing the timely comics, like one-shots. All Select Comics #1. Vertigo Preview. This is a what is it? A preview of Death and a Sandman. I think it has a Sandman story in it. Wildcats X-Men Modern Age, cover and art by Adam Hughes. If you guys don't have this book, it's a really cool book. Adam Hughes artwork all the way through. Havoc and Wolverine Meltdown #1. Always like that book. Man, I keep finding these. I'm going to do a haul separate from this of some books I picked up out of some bargain boxes in Oklahoma. And I keep finding these. This is Sword of Azrael #2 and #4. And it's funny because I keep finding like 2, 3, and 4 in the bargain boxes. I never find #1s in the bargain boxes. But I guess there was a time when like even 2, 3, and 4 were going for like, you know, 10, 15, 20 bucks a piece. So I'm kind of surprised when I find them in the quarter boxes because I have a couple of #1s, so I can make some sets out of those. Power of the Atom #1. My buddy Keith Wilson worked on this book. X Factor #107, Kerry Gamble cover. Excalibur #51, Spider-Man cover and appearance. Excalibur #29, Phoenix on the cover there. All phoenixed out. Excalibur number 41, featuring the X-Men. Void Indigo number 1. Val Merrick did this book for Marvel back in the day. It's a creator-owned project. Got a couple of those. I see Val from time to time, so I'll get those signed. This was another book I was really happy to get, and I was really surprised to see in there, and that is Nexus Space Opera Act 1 by Steve Rood, and it is signed by Steve Rood and numbered, and comes with a certificate. So that's a cool book to get for $25. Crazy. Legionnaires number 13, Adam Hughes cover. You guys know about that cover? It's a really funny cover. Legion of Superheroes annual number 1 from 1990, cover by Adam Hughes. Early Adam Hughes. Valor number 9, cover by Adam Hughes. Man, this was a cool book to get for $25. Countdown presents The Search for Ray Palmer, Superwoman and Batwoman. And the reason this is a cool book, this is a very hard book to find, and it features the first appearance of, they're calling it a cameo, even though she's in multiple panels. Let me find it. So I don't know if you guys saw the news. They announced they were going to make a movie about Plastic Man, but instead of Plastic Man, it was going to be called Plastic Woman. And they were basically going to make the lead character, a female. This is the only book to date that features... Come on, where is it? I guess I didn't go back far enough. Oh, maybe it's at the end. Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's in here. I actually have this book already, but I know it's a really hard book to find. Well, okay. That's Plastic Woman. That's Plastic Woman. And I think there's a couple other panels that Plastic Woman is in. So anyway, first Plastic Woman is in that book. Superman number 52. First, what do you call it? Is that first Jonathan Kent? I can't remember. That's a second printed book. Green Lantern number 51. Was that Kyle Rayner becomes Green Lantern in that issue? Love this book. DV8 number 1. Actually, it's DV8. It's not DV8 number 1. It's DV8. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I should have done a little more research here. Is it DV8 number 1? I guess it is just DV8 number 1. I think it might be either the second series or something. Anyway, cover by Adam Hughes and Dave Stevens. That's a book that a lot of people don't know about. Speaking of Dave Stevens, I was going to do a Dave Stevens haul. Airboy, is it number 8? Number 5. My eyes are failing me. The Dave Stevens cover, one of my favorite covers of all time. So beautiful. I know Mike at Comic Crypto Castle Hills just showed that off. So he beat me to it. Airboy number 1. Samaree number 1. It's a cool book. Samaree number 2, featuring a cover by Neil Adams. Samaree Number 3. Who did this cover? Is this like Mark Beecham or something? It's a sexy cover. Getting close to the end, guys. Ultraverse Premiere number 0, cover by Jim Lee. I actually got 2 of those. Here's the second one. Green Lantern Corps Quarterly number 8, featuring Lobo. It's a big, thick book. Brightest Day number 11, Return of the Black Lanterns. Blackest Night, Green Lantern, or I guess it's just Green Lantern 46, part of the Blackest Night storyline. Green Lantern 47, Abun Sur returns. Green Lantern number 48, also part of the Blackest Night storyline. War of the Green Lanterns. This is Green Lanterns 65. Man, do I love this cover. Love, love, love this cover. Green Lantern number 52, part of the Blackest Night storyline. And this book actually has some heat on it, if I'm not mistaken. Not a perfect copy, but it's good enough. Green Lanterns number 67. Green Lantern number 50. Justice League number 24. Justice League number 26. Justice League number 28. Return of the Metal Men. Got 2 of those. Justice League number 29. Justice League number 35. Really like that cover. Justice League number 44. I never see these for a quarter. Justice League United number 2, the Stargirl Bombshells cover. I got real excited when I saw this at first, but I didn't realize Revival number 1. It's a 4th printing. I've been looking for a Revival number 1 first printing, but no such luck. Revival number 2. This is a 2nd printing. Revival number 3. Revival number 4. Revival number 5. Jenny Frison covers, baby. Love those Jenny Frisons. Revival number 6. Nexus, the Origin, number 1. Real nice book. Got 2 of those. Nexus, the Origin. I think this is just a variant. And then Nexus, Alien Justice. And then I am going to end with some Archies, and one in particular I am very happy about. So I got Archie's Gals and Pals number 145. None of these were bagged and boarded except the last one, which I put in a bag and a board, and you'll see why. Archie's Gals and Pals number 164. Everything's Archie number 75. I love these old Archies. Archie's Clean Slate. I think this was one of those Christian giveaway comics. Same with this, Archie's Something Else. Actually, these 49 cents. What a weird price point. But see, if you look on the back, it says Spire Comics. So I think it was like for Christian bookstores. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what it was. Archie and Me, number 112. Archie's Joke Book, number 259. Betty and Veronica Spectacular, number 530. Life with Archie, number 220. I sure hope I can make it to the end without this phone cutting off, because I'm almost done. Jughead, number 208. Jughead, number 252. Most of these are like reader copies. Jughead, number 209. And last but not least, the book I am most happy to get, and I want to say a special thank you to my buddy Michael Hawkins, who was there, because he's the one that pointed this out to me, and I actually have been looking for this book. He found it. I probably would have overlooked it. Josie and the Pussycats, number 45. Do you guys know what the significance is of this book? So when Josie was coming out as a title through Archie, it was originally just called Josie. This is the issue where it became Josie and the Pussycats. This is the first appearance of Josie and the Pussycats. Now, this book, this particular copy, as you can see, is not in the best shape. But even in this condition, this is probably, easily like a $50, $60 book, because it's just that hard to find. I mean, in mint condition, it would go for several hundred. But I was really happy to get this, because it's one of the books I've been kind of looking for. It's a key issue, obviously. Now, the next issue after this is the first cover appearance of Josie and the Pussycats. But this is the first time you see the title, Josie and the Pussycats. And like I said, first appearance. So very happy to have this for a quarter. So yeah, there you go. Those are all my quarter comics. Again, I want to say a big thank you to Titan Comics. If you're in Dallas, visit Titan Comics. Say hi to Jeremy. Tell him Mark Walters sent you. And yeah, that's what I got from the quarter comic sale. I'm trying to remember what my final bill was. Oh, you know what? I have it right here. All right, here's my final bill. You ready? I can't see it because I'm blind as a bat. My total with tax was $55.21. So everything I just showed you, I got for $55.21. How about that? Labor Day comic sale at Titan Comics. You can't beat it. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much. Thanks for checking out Mark's Comic Haul, y'all. I'm going to skip doing the shout-outs and whatnot because this video is long enough at 43 minutes. If you want to find out more about me, you can go to bigfanboy.com or check out DallasComicShow.com. Our next Dallas Comic Show is November 11th and 12th. Joseph Michael Linsner is one of our special guests. Mark Delson, the original Dark Horse Aliens comic artist, is going to be there. Lots of really cool folks are coming. Don't miss it. DallasComicShow.com for more information. Tickets haven't gone on sale yet, but they will soon. If you guys like and enjoyed this content, please do me a favor, like and subscribe down below. I would very much appreciate it. I am Mark Walters. This has been Mark's Comic Haul, y'all. I'll see you guys on the next video. Everybody take care. If you see anything you like, let me know.